This one. Now, this is the Chief Executive of NHS England will announce plans this week urging his 1.35 million staff to join weight-watching groups and take out gym memberships in the fight against the obesity crisis. Now, he says he's not saying that they're all obese, he's just saying that they should lead by example. Therefore, if you're frontline NHS staffing, you should be there looking fit, looking healthy. Has he got a point, or do you think that's an unfair, that they should be, kind of role models?
I think it's good for all companies to help their staff have a healthy lifestyle. I don't think it should be about shoulds and any pointing fingers. I mean, one thing that I feel really strongly about, either as a patient or as a visitor or as a staff, I did a hospital programme years ago, and what these poor people on shift have to eat is just unbelievable.
And 10 minutes to eat it.
Yeah, and you're doing these really long shifts, exhausted. We all know that being tired and doing shift work is one of the worst as a recipe for disaster when it comes to weight. So I would say I would willingly, for free, write them a whole recipe plan within their budget and get them beautiful, healthy food, because I think that's a big problem. And like as we know, sometimes we'll be human if we're out of hours and the canteen's closed. What are you going to do? You're going to go for the vending machine and fill up on a bag of crisps and a bar of chocolate. I think that, nurses and doctors have a rough enough deal as it is, so why not help them with great food, put gyms in the hospitals? Not so that they're then... Because it's saying to encourage them to join gyms. What have they got to pay for that?
I think they're saying that they might subsidise.
Yeah, because I think it should be free, actually. I think that...
Or have those in the hospital, within the hospital grounds.
And I think a lot of big, very profit-making companies also should help their staff to stay fit. I mean, they do that in America, so why can't we do that here?
Because it does cost the NHS billions, doesn't it, Jane?
Well, obesity
bad health,
general
obesity.
Does, yeah. And I suppose that's part of his argument is that, for example, if you walk into a gym and the receptionist is morbidly obese, you'd probably say that's not a great advertisement for the gym. And I guess a morbidly obese patient being told you've got to lose weight by a morbidly obese medic, be it nurse, doctor, whatever, is going to say, well, hang on a minute, you're not. So I get what he's saying, but I get completely what you're saying. Anybody who's been in hospital at night, in particular, you try getting healthy food. I mean, there's vending machines. There are hospitals in this country that have got McDonald's in the grounds.
But also, the fact is, they're so overworked anyway, aren't they, and underpaid. And the thing is, if they get an hour off, even an hour, at least half of that hour, I suppose they'd like to sleep or just rest.
You just rest, sit
and
down,
you know what it's like when you've been rushing about and you're really tired. It's comfort food, really, that does get you through it.
But if there were options there, like Nadia said, that's not saying don't have chocolate and things. We all enjoy that. But if you also had lovely, healthy soup,
it's easy to get a menu out that is healthy and delicious and is low cost.
And actually, not just for the staff, for the patients too.
There is no excuse for the appalling food in hospitals. When my sister was in hospital, my family, she was lucky. We took her in breakfast, lunch, and dinner every day. Because how was she going to get better eating food like that? And how are the staff going to stay slim having to eat food like that?
There's been initiatives on this before, though, hasn't there? Because I think Lloyd Grossman tried to change the menus, and I think Jamie Oliver probably did at one point. But because the NHS is just such a vast behemoth, it kind of is very, very difficult to implement.
They've got to do it, though. They can't keep saying it's difficult.
But the worry would be if you were
personal responsibility as well, as there is with anybody in any walk of life.
But if you were NHS staff reading that, hearing that today, would you think, well, who says what's obese? Like you said, there's morbidly obese, there's obese, there's being a bit overweight.
Clinically obese,
and you kind of think,
obese.
well, who's going to set that line and go, you're all right, you're just a little bit overweight, so you can be on reception and you can be a nurse, but you're not, out you get.
Somebody like Jessica Ennis can be classed as, she isn't, but she can be classed as obese because when they weigh you with your height, if you've got
and muscle weighs more than fat.
I think it's about helping, because you can be skinny and not be healthy. I think it's about helping your staff be healthy.
We're all envisaging morbidly obese as in really, really big, which happened to me
my point,
when I went into labour with Shane Jr., which is nearly 26 years ago. And it's first baby, I was scared anyway. And as I walked into the hospital, they said, your midwife's on her way. And they had to open both doors for her to come through. And I cried.
But what worried you about that? That she wouldn't be able to do her job?
She was a fabulous woman, but she was really... I mean, I'm not exaggerating. Both doors. She had to sit on my bed because she was so out of breath by the time we got to the room.
Well, that means.
And on top of that, she had hands the size of shovels, and I'm thinking, you ain't putting them anywhere near me. I cried. I was going, don't let her do it. I was literally crossed my legs. Thought, you're not coming out. No.